You are my destiny.
You are listening to You Are My Destiny radio show with Luca and Claudette.
From dream to reality, unlocking your destiny within. Here we go, another day, another show. This is Luca Zanna with Claudette Lyons, and you're listening to You Are My Destiny, podcasting directly from our bedroom. That's right. Right, Claudia?
That's right.
That's our favorite studio. Believe it or not, we're doing a lot of things from our bedroom. We creating music, we creating distribution. I mean, we doing music videos. Our latest videos, we all created them here in the bedroom.
Well, actually, Luca, don't you have most of your songs coming through dreams?
That's true. And top, I dream most of the time, and that's where the melody comes from. Yeah. So I think it's a special place. And today we're going to meet a special guy because I believe in life, at least this is speaking for myself, I learned that a lot of people that I met, or even better, I didn't meet, but I experienced through their music or through their books. So I was able to meet them in life after maybe 30 years, 40 years, but still. And they somehow influenced my journey here. So I really believe we are kind of all interconnected in a way or the other one. We can positively and sometimes negatively influence each other by focus on the positive. And today, for me, I used to grow up with rock. I like rock. I like every type of music. I go from electronic to classical, but rock is my first love. And when I was a young man in Italy, I used to really love to see these bands, especially in Los Angeles, hard rock and long hair and fast cars and all that stuff. I was stuck in a military school and I was dreaming one day to get there. And my friends were laughing at me because I couldn't even speak English. And today, not only I'm here in America, living with you, Claudia, and creating our world, our music, but also I had the opportunity and the privilege to work with amazing musicians that for me were like kind of my, I don't want to call heroes because I don't have heroes, but my inspiration when I was growing up. And today, I'm really, really excited because I have a guy that, I'm so happy to have him, first of all, as a guest, and also just to experience it, to learn more about his past and what he's done. He's been one of my opinion, one of the best vocal performers, singers in the rock scene still today, 40 years later. Hopefully my accent will forgive me because sometimes I kind of bad at that, even after all this year. But I'm going to try to again. Jizzy Pearl. Am I right, Jizzy?
How's it going?
How's it going? Did I pronounce your name right, first of all?
Well. My real name is Jim, but
okay.
That's right.
How do you want me to call you for the show here, for the interview?
Just call me Jizzy, that's fine.
Jizzy, okay, good. So listen, Jizzy, first of all, thank you for coming, and thank you, first of all, for, I really believe that you've been, maybe you already know it, but I think you've been kind of creating a vision for many singers that they came after you. I remember the first video that I watched when I was still probably in Italy, with your band Love Hate. And it's funny because there is also another thing I didn't tell you. Maybe we have somebody that we met in common in our journey. I'll tell you more later. But the first video that really for me was an explosion in sound and vocal performance, and the whole thing, Blackout in the Red Room. Can we say that's probably the most famous song from Love Hate? What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm.
Because I think, that was your first debut, for your first album, correct?
Yes, it was. It was a long time ago, so I have to search my memory banks for the...
But, I follow your YouTube channel, by the way, and beside you as an artist, as a musician, what I really like about you, I want to be honest, your mindset, because many people complain. Many people like always to find an excuse, somebody else's fault. Many people also let themselves go. Instead, I've been following you for a while, especially since now we are working together. I like the way, first of all, your mind works and also your discipline. and the way also you, besides being, you're a rock star. You've been doing rock for all these years, but also you're a professional that keep a balance between, let's say, talent, creativity, but also discipline. Is it true that you don't drink anymore? I mean, you're very health conscious of what I can see. Also, the way you are. You're not a kid anymore. Tell me more.
I am not a kid anymore. No, you are correct. I just felt, getting sober wasn't a situation. Some people have to get sober because they have a problem. You know what I mean? And it's a good thing. They go to a program and stuff like that. But for me, I just got tired of the drinking and just kind of stopped. And I found that by not drinking, that it improved everything, my health, my energy, and my voice. So it was great.
And it's really true, Claudia. By the way, I think I showed it to you. I watched a video of you with Rudy just a couple of years ago. I mean, I was impressed. Was live on YouTube, playing your favorite song. At least the song that I just mentioned, and you sounding live exactly like from the record. And there's a lot of high notes. I mean, it's a powerful song. Blackout in the Red Box. I mean, that was great. I mean, you did performance live very, very amazing. I must be honest.
Well, I take the YouTube seriously because of everyone's got a camera basically at the concerts, and when the phones, it's just important that you have your best gig every night, because it'll go up on YouTube, and a bad gig lives forever. So you gotta take care of yourself.
Listen, before we're gonna ask you a couple of questions, why don't we do this? Let's see. Introduce yourself. From a human point, from professional point. If you had to say, somebody never heard you before, maybe a young kid, somebody that grew up the last 20 years, and he didn't grow up with my generation, your generation. Who is Jizzy? Who are you?
Well, I'm a guy that grew up with all the classic rock bands, The Who, Led Zeppelin, Ronnie Dio, from his solo work and from Black Sabbath. And so as a young person, you copy what other people are doing that you like. You sing along to their songs before you actually become your own songwriter. So I'm sort of a combination of Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin and Ronnie Dio and Roger Daltrey of The Who, kind of all of that mixed together, and then hopefully you get what people call your own identity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for example, when I toured with Ozzy doesn't sound like anyone else. When you hear Ozzy's voice, it's Ozzy, and he's not the most technical person in the world, but when you hear him sing, you know exactly who you're listening to. And so I just thought that was important to have your own identity, as a musician.
Wow. I know you went through, studying, I'm like studying a history book, studying going through your life and your career. I've been doing a little research. You kind of, your beginning for Love Hate wasn't exactly from easy environment. I mean, you really started from the streets. I mean, kind of not grunge in the music style, but really Skid Row stuff. I mean, tell any memories you have about that time.
Well, back in that era of the 1980s, there was a very huge community of musicians that used to play the Whiskey and the Roxy and Gazzarri's, and it was what you did. Everyone wanted to get what Motley Crue had, and so it was your full-time job, and nobody had any money. Everybody lived 5 people to an apartment, and you'd go out every night and you'd network for your band, and and you hope to get the record companies there, and you'd hope to get a record deal, and obviously it really never really happened that many times, but we did the same thing. We went through that same boot camp, and we luckily, got a record deal out of it, so that was great.
Yeah, and I saw that. Also, you had a lot of great concerts opportunity. Claudia, probably this is something a little more, I'm more into this type of music. Claudia grew up with different music, but I'm sure she has some questions. Any question for Jizzy?
Yes, I do. I have a question about when you are going out onto that stage to perform. I like what you were saying about how you have to make every show the best show. So, first of all, what is that like? That 3-minute countdown for you, like what's going through your mind, and has that moment changed or evolved for you since the beginning when you were going out?
No, it's the same. It's now I do it without the booze.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's what it's like. I have a good analogy. When you see Mike Tyson walking down, going to the ring, he has that look on his face. He has that determination. He's got that stare on his face that he's ready to kick ass.
Yep.
And he's in that zone of having to be Mike Tyson. He's got to be Mike Tyson. He's got to win. And that's kind of how I look at it before a gig. Whatever, there's nervousness. There's always, emotions and stuff like that, but I go into it like Mike Tyson would go into a prize fight, kind of ready to duke it out, and you get yourself into that zone, and then when you come out on stage, you're that larger than life person that people kind of expect. You know what I mean? They don't want to see Joe Schmo come out on stage.
Right.
They want to see somebody larger than life, somebody that's gonna, be the head cheerleader. So that's kind of what I do.
That's awesome.
Well, that's very true, and I see that attitude. I don't know you in person yet. I know we're gonna work together soon, but already just following you, I always take time and pride to learn more about the people I work with, and listening to you and following you on YouTube and Instagram. I really like the way you are, in a way, as a professional too. Because people can be very artistically gifted, and that's great, but not everybody can be gifted at the same time, can be professional. That's what I notice. And in this world, I think, especially if you want to go the long run, you got to have both. And in my opinion, you have them both excellently, because you understand your body is your gift, your voice is your gift, and you made choices also that keep your gift longer than many other people don't have it anymore. Honestly, you look younger than many other people of your age. Especially in this world that they eat terrible, they don't take care of themselves. So any type of special things you have, I don't know, diet or.
Well, I mean, I've been doing the keto for a few years, not strict religious. Because some people do it, kind of extreme dieting, I think. But I just think that the horrors of sugar and a lot of this stuff, that the garbage food every day.
Yeah.
Every day I'm in a hotel if I'm on the road. Every morning, and the breakfast, you go down there and there's this big aluminum tin and it says scrambled eggs, and it's not scrambled eggs.
No.
I don't know what it is. It's some fiendish alien mixture.
Yeah, you're right.
That's colored yellow, but it's not eggs. You know what I mean? So that's kind of a problem when you're trying to eat healthy, when everything around you is kind of McDonald's. And that's a bummer. But you just got to do your best, and you got to try and eat right. And I do stay away from a lot of the sugar and stuff like that. And I think that's just Everyone knows sugar's bad for you. I mean,
Yeah, Claudia
come on.
knows too, right, Claudia?
Yeah, I stopped eating it myself about everything like 9 months ago, and I knew I would have a positive effect, but I honestly didn't understand how it would affect parts of my life that are still blessing me. Like it's really been a beautiful journey.
Well, getting off sugar is like getting off heroin.
Yeah,
That's true.
that's
You
so
know what I
true.
mean? Because
That's true.
it does something. It hits those receptors
Yes,
in your brain, those pleasure receptors,
absolutely.
and trust me. I mean, I've had my share of all things sugary and sweet and wonderful, you know. But I just feel like the older you get, you gotta start thinking about, you know, limiting. I mean, even Keith Richards quit smoking. You know what I mean? And he's like a cockroach. That guy's, you know what I mean?
Keith
He's never gonna
Richards.
die.
Wow, that's
So
true.
you know, that's kind of how I feel. It's not. It's all by choice, and I don't preach, you know, about it. I do a little bit on my Twitter, on my X, because I see all this stuff, and I just think these people buying this coffee flavored drink that's got 85 grams of sugar, it shocks me.
That's true.
It shocks me. I mean, it's just, you know.
But you know what I
Come on,
like,
man.
Jizzy, about you? You know, that's exactly your attitude that you don't preach, but you lead just by example, you know, because people, and I think that should be the role of everyone. Nobody should be a preacher. You know, we do what we do, we do what we believe. And then, of course, if the results, people appreciate it, maybe they can be interested. And I really like the way, you know, for me, the way when I start to rediscover your persona. I remember you last time I really follow you when I was let me tell you exactly last time I saw your photo. In Italy, when I was a kid, you know, I was listening to your music. And then, of course, I had a couple of your songs that was one of the best for me for vocal performances, energy. But then I didn't tell you, I don't know if you maybe remember, when I came to America in 1998, I landed in Los Angeles and I was living for a few months in Studio City, exactly on Tahanga Avenue. And I was living, you know, my past life in Italy. When I was in Italy, I used to be a music publisher. I had a music magazine. I also published a couple of books. And one of the books I published was an older lady from Australia. Her name was Elizabeth Sabine. That she was a vocal teacher, and we became friends. Of course, I published her book, and then when I had to immigrate to America, I didn't know where to go. And Elizabeth said, "Why don't you come to live here with me until you find a place?" So I shared a little spare room, and I was living in this spare room in Studio City at a house. And
Wow, that's strange. That's 6 degrees of Luca.
yep, that's why I'm saying I know we were getting closer in this life. I believe nothing happens by accident because when I was there, I was her assistant. I was helping her out, you know, I was bringing the dog out, you know, stuff like that, answering to the phone with my terrible English. But beside that, I was always in so much excitement when I see the people that she worked with. And I saw a photo of you there. And I remember that there was a love-hate photo, and I said, wow, this is the band I used to really like when I was in Italy. And I said, wow, so cool. And then, you know, funny now, 1998, almost 28 years later, I'm here with you talking on the phone and working together.
Yeah, a funny story is that when I went to her for a few lessons, I had no money, and sure, she was $25 a half hour, which seems like nothing, but that was a lot of money when you're a kid and you have no money. You know what I mean? Scraping together $25 for a vocal lesson. And I had a couple of vocal lessons, and I remember coming to her house one day, and I knocked on the door, and someone else had just finished their lesson and was coming out as I was coming in. And he had blonde hair, and I looked at him, he looked at me, and he left, and she looks at me and she shakes her head. She goes, that guy has absolutely no talent. And it was Vince Neil from Motley Crue.
Wow.
Oh my God, this is so amazing, the story you told me. I didn't know that. Well,
That's fun.
but
Wow.
you know, it's funny. Around the house, a lot of people have been walking around, and I feel honored that somehow indirectly I was there too. And today we are here talking. You know, let's think about 1998 October. I land, and now we are in August, July 2026. I mean, it's pretty amazing. I think this is not an accident. So
Well,
tell me.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it's hard to have longevity in this business. I mean, I watched one of your videos where you were talking about how nobody buys records anymore, and it's that aspect of the business is gone. You know, the big royalty checks are gone. I mean, a lot of the stuff that used to, people used to be able to buy houses with when they were musicians are all gone now. And so people don't want to make new music because people don't buy it. I mean, it's this vicious circle. And so you have to grow with the times, and you have to adapt to the heart, to what comes. And it's not easy sometimes, because as a musician, you resent the fact that you're going to spend all this time and money on it and make a record, and you're really proud of it, and no one cares. I mean, as far as the general public, it's a bummer sometimes. But what do you do?
Yeah, I think you're right. Things have changed, but I still believe that we can find new ways to make money that before was more kind of the official way was, you make a record, you sell the record. That was great. Don't get me wrong. Even, of course, you need to watch what type of contract you get with the record label. But at the same time, that was the main product that people used to make your living. And then, of course, you have concerts. Today, probably you have concerts, but there are also other ways that if we can adapt and overcome this change, we can still create revenues. Before, to get a distribution, you need to have a physical distribution. That was it. Today, if you have the knowledge and the good songs, of course, you can distribute your music in a different way throughout the world without any more of the approval of a big major like used to be. So, of course, you need to make billions of streamings compared to maybe selling 1 million of copies. But at the same time, if you don't need to give the cut to the record label, you can still make something. And of course, live, like you're doing, still there. But what is the new thing that you like about the new millennium in the music business, if there is any?
God, I guess I like the fact that there are guys out there still playing. You know what I mean? And still going through the motions of playing live. And even though as you get older, it gets, tougher and more exhausting and stuff. But I like the old school guys out there that still want to get out in front of an audience and play and have that experience with musician and audience, and because that's never changed, and it hopefully until we're holograms, I hope that it continues. But that's one thing, is playing live to people and getting that interaction and seeing their eyes light up when you play a song that they like. I mean, all that stuff is still fresh, you know what I mean, and it still means something. That's kind of the only that's really, I mean, there's a lot of bad stuff that's going on, but I like that that's still there, and if you choose to do it.
Well, that's true. I believe that's true. The live music is still there. The good thing today, you can do, of course, in front of people, but also you can also get creative, and you can broadcast to the world from your studio if you want to, and that can be another way also to create revenues. Now, Claudia, any questions you have?
I do, yeah, because that was such a powerful thing that you just stated. And so I guess what I'm doing is just saying that, like, that connection live, the audience and their experience with the musician has not changed. In a way, it's almost timeless.
Yes.
Yeah, that's powerful.
It's kind of the only thing that we have left.
Right.
That's true.
I mean, as musicians, I mean, there's no big royalty checks. Streaming is tough, as you say. It's you got to really have a lot. You got to really have a large number of streams to to sort of, make money.
To
And
compensate.
it's just, and AI creeping right up next to you, and there's other things as well. So I mean, but that's kind of the only thing that we have left, and I enjoy it. Even when I'm tired, or even when I'm kind of salty about anything, I still like to be able to get up on stage, and it's always a very positive experience,
That's true. And also, I like to look forward at what we're doing together soon. For me, going to studio, it's always a privilege, because I believe, we can make music at home today. Computers, great, and home recordings, that's great. Don't get me wrong, I use that a lot. We do a lot of electronic music, me and Claudia. But going back to a studio with musicians, that we lock the door and we put the focus in creating something together, that's for me probably the most beautiful thing as a songwriter, because I don't even consider myself a musician, I'm mostly a songwriter, to see the magic of music happen, because there is a little bit of sparkle from everyone. There is not just the notes, there is the creativity, there is the energy, there is something that computer cannot create. I mean, when you go in the studio with people, there is some extra sparkle that happens beside the 7 notes that's supposed to be reproduced, So we're looking forward to be together for this project with the Sarso brother, Rudy and Robert, of course, and you, as a lead singer for the Cuba Libre. Any feedback yet about what do you think about this project coming together?
Well, I actually sang it this morning.
Nice.
That's great. I know that I like that of you.
Yeah. I'm gonna come in prepared, and I'm gonna kick ass.
That's great.
And it'll be fun.
And then finally, after 40 years, I'm going to meet you in person. I know. Think about it. When I heard about that you were at Elizabeth house for a couple of lessons or whatever, and I was there, and now we're together, I just came back to my mind the other day.
Yeah.
I was telling Claudia, I said, what's funny? I remember Jizzy. I saw his photo there 28 years ago, and now we are working together. Yeah. Well, that's going to be fun. It's going to be a big project, at least for me, because it's beyond the song, as I said. It's also a message. And then, of course, we have other ideas. You never know. As I said, we talk a little bit about, I'm trying to create new ways to go back to create interest into recording music, because sometimes people think, okay, it's a song. No, there is a story behind how the song was recorded, and also even why the song was even created. And I'm always fascinated to find the new frontiers in a way. So we were talking just a few days ago about the potential other project that I hope we can do together to record some acoustic songs in a completely different type of studio, like the desert. What do you think about that idea?
Well, I got plenty of desert out here in Vegas.
Yeah.
Well, let's finish Cuba, and then we can talk about the desert. That would be awesome.
We're full of desert. We are full, sir.
Full of desert. And maybe next time we can do even a cave. I was thinking about reverberation, natural reverb. We can do a song recorded in a cave.
Yeah, I have to. It's funny because when we were talking about that, I was thinking to myself, I'm gonna have to scout out a couple of locations. You know what I mean? That will be cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's going to be August, and I'm just warning you, Will.
Yes. Well, at least I grew up for the last 20 years, 18 years in Arizona, so I know August, Arizona or Nevada. It's pretty rough.
Yeah, you almost have to do it at 5 a.m.
Exactly. And that's what we were talking about anyway, and I love your enthusiasm and your discipline, because if I talk normally with a average, musician, 5 o'clock, normally they go to sleep at 5. And instead they say, no, we can do it 5. They say, that's great,
Yeah, those days are over. They should be over. Come on, it's time to grow up.
Time to grow up. List, I want to give you the floor. Anything you want to say, a message, or anything you want to talk about, experiences, anything. It's you got the floor.
Nothing. I just, I've seen some of your videos and stuff like that, and I just so many people in the music business, myself included, have from time to time, you get jaded, you lose your enthusiasm sometimes, because people don't buy records. I mean, all the things, all the cliches that people say. People don't buy records. People don't really care. You're getting old. Why don't you look like you did in 1990 on your video? Where's your long hair? You know what I mean? And people just kind of pick at you, and you just get a little jaded and a little bummed sometimes. But you seem to have this reservoir of what's the next big thing. I'm going to find the next big thing. I'm going to cash in, not even cash in, but I'm going to find the magic that everyone else doesn't seem to see. You know what I mean? And even if you don't find it, you at least have that energy to want to find it. You know what I mean?
Well, thank you, and I really appreciate it, because it's true for me. This is not just a job. I have other careers, and that's also one thing that allowed me to do what I'm doing. But at the same time, now I'm focusing on this full time as an independent label. I'm always fascinated about the power of music, how music, like a song, not just music in general. One song can change a person's mood, can improve a day, can change, even save a life. I mean, there were a song in the 80s. One night the DJ saved my life. I remember, I think in the 80s was a. The point is, there's so much magic in music, and also how it can change the life of the musicians, the artists. I mean, so that for me, you're right. I'm on a task. I didn't say I found it yet, but I'm looking.
You're on a mission.
On a mission. I want to go back to the power of the songs, like we used to have, when one song, even one song, could change the life of many people. Starting from the songwriter, from the producer, from the musicians, and of course, and the millions of people that are listening, and they maybe find some energy, some inspiration, getting off the depression. I mean, for me, music has been always my drugs, in a positive way. Growing up in boarding school at 11, all I had was a little radio in the dormitory at night, and I used to listen to it. And then when I graduated at 14, I used to have my little a Walkman. You remember the Walkman? I'm sure you do.
I do.
In a little tape. And at night under the bed, I used to listen, all these rock bands. And my teacher was so mad. And one time they confiscated my Walkman. I didn't get it for 2 weeks. And that for me was my things that kept me alive. So, and today we're here, and we're going to make the magic again. Claudia, anything you want to say to Jizzy before we leave?
Yeah, it's just amazing to hear your journey, and thank you, because for me, it's like I just resonate again with kind of like the perspective a little bit higher of this whole conversation about how you were saying the connection with the people that are there listening in that live, when you're on stage, and how that is for everybody receiving your amazing songs, your voice, the energy, the meaning behind the music, the purpose, and then Luca, you creating this pathway that you're absolutely insistent that there's ways to do it outside of the box, and for none of us to give up and keep going. It kind of brings us all together in a way that kind of stands up a little bit against some of the negatives that you were talking about, Jizzy, not a lot of the money coming in, the royalties, and I just feel like hopefully at the end of this, if there's an end, it's music and people that can come out.
Well, you're doing it for you're doing it for the right reasons, and then that's kind of. I mean, sometimes you don't make any money, but you come out with a good song. I mean, it's worth it, I guess.
Yeah. Or at least it's definitely worth. I tell you something. One day we'll all be gone. You know that it's a part of our life. But your music, your voice, is gonna still be there, somehow, somewhere, and some young kid, maybe 50 years from now, is going to find even that inspiration, or maybe an answer to the rebellion of the state of, youth that we have. It doesn't matter the age. The point is that your song is still going to be alive. That's the bottom line. And that's why I think the most powerful thing in music, also for a musician, is, it's a legacy behind. And I'm very honored to work with you, Jizzy, soon. And I'll be in touch with you soon, and I'll give you a big hug, and stay cool.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Great talking to you guys.
Don't go away. Stay there 1 second. I'm going to stop this and we'll touch base. Okay. This is what Jizzy. And don't go away, guys. Stay there.
Zanna Records, Global Radio.
Welcome back to the show. This is Luca Zanna with Claudette Lyons. You're listening to You Are My Destiny radio show. Claudette, what a beautiful, for me at least, I really enjoy talking to Jizzy, because I look at the destiny how it worked out. I was in Italy playing bass with my brother, and I was listening to some of his music with other great singers at the time, or rock bands coming from Los Angeles. And then I meet Elizabeth Sabine with my magazine, and I have the opportunity to land in Los Angeles. And when I came there, I see his photo, Jizzy photo, Love Hate. At the time was still very, a band going around. Even was 1998, but still, still fresh. And now we are here with him, working together, and we're going to go in studio together in a few days.
Yeah, his story was very inspiring, and there's a couple of things I enjoyed about what he was sharing. Number one, he keeps doing it, and I love that he said every single show has to be your best show. I love that zeal. And number two, I also noticed that he was saying something complimenting you, Luca, about how basically it's easy sometimes for people to get a little jaded. Yeah. Or to go through these transitions. That right now music is definitely right there, right? And how you've been inspiring kind of this new culture of being positive and seeing a way through. So that's amazing.
No, I find it very humbly. I'm very grateful for, not because I'm looking for anybody telling me what I'm doing right, but I appreciate the words coming from him, especially because he's somebody who's been doing that way more than I've been doing it. And it's true, why are we doing music? There are many other things you can make money probably faster and better and maybe more, risky than music. You can even sell, simple things like peanuts, and you can make money with peanuts. But what I like about music is, first of all, music what really gives to people, what gives to me, but also what can give to people, but also the opportunity, the music stays there even after you're gone. It becomes like a legacy. And I still believe that different ways to make a living with music and make not just a living, making an opportunity in life to enjoy life. And so it's just about finding these new ways, movies, synchronizations, even streaming. I understand that you need billions of views, but everything is possible at the end if we find the right technique, and more important, if we have the right songs. So I appreciate what GC said, and I'm going to be working hard to make it happen all the way. So now back to us, Claudia. We have a lot of things we do beside Luca and Claudette, of course. We have live concerts streaming from our bedroom that's coming back. We have a new song that we're going to record the music video. But let's talk about the things we've done recently. For example, the video that we created together with Memoirs, Je t'aime, remixed by André Murario. Tell me about that.
That was fun. Listen, all of the videos that we've been able to create are like a passage in time, and the essence of what has come through has been beyond planning. I mean, we put the effort in to show up somewhere and utilize the places we're going. For example, we went to Nashville and we met Joseph Wooten and his amazing wife, Stephanie. Had an incredible time with You Are My Destiny remix, right? And also did the video there. But we knew, like we always do, whenever we take the time to travel, get up super early. It's not about sleeping in or getting a ton of rest. It's about work and efficiency. And so we got up early, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we started shooting another video. And we never really know exactly what we're going to get. But I'll tell you what, it is proof. Now we've been doing this for 3.5 years. When you put the effort in and you have intention, and then you allow yourself to flow and adapt with what the reality will show you, whether it's a circumstance like the tornadoes on the train on the way to Nashville. We literally had to go on a new trail, a new track.
Yeah.
But what you come out with is beyond what you thought you were going to get. Is that true?
That's true. Mm-hmm. We follow the flow and we adapt, and we always find positive things, even things sometimes seems like a little difficult. I mean, I can't believe a better partner like you to share this adventure, because this is not something for everybody can do. Let me tell you, I mean, what we did is beyond music. Mm-hmm. It's a human journey that also shows that, you need to be healthy and strong, but also with the right mindset.
Absolutely.
For example, let me tell you something before I continue, because it's going to have a little break in a few seconds. 33 hours of train and then 10 hours of drive at night, surrounded by thunderstorm and tornado. That was an amazing experience.
Absolutely.
Don't go away. Stay there.
You are listening to Zanna Records Global Radio.
You're listening to Zanna Records Global Radio.
Zanna Records Global Radio.
To Zanna Records Global Radio.
Here we are. We're back. Claudia, before we continue, I need to do something here. I want to give you a kiss. Mwah. I want to tell you something. I don't know anyone in this world that I was able to do the things we've done together in a way beyond music. Even just, think about all the things we've done in this short time. I mean, this journey, getting up, I think we didn't sleep at all. When we went to Flagstaff, it was 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
We slept maybe 2 hours. And then we jump in this magic train at 3:40 in the morning, traveling for 34 hours or so, and then the tornadoes, and then the drive at night. I mean, that's beyond a music project or anything that could be a project. It's a journey. It's a human experience. And I want to say I'm so grateful I'm doing it with you.
You too, Luca. 100%.
Mwah.
It's a rare experience. I think what we have found is that it's a place to develop our character and who we want to be and choose to be, who we get to be. And I feel like for us, it's compressed. It says, here's your vision and here's your goal. Here's a little bit of time. You get to do it. Now, remember that you don't make big drama out of little things. You find a way through everything. And I feel like that's been a solution for us because we work together, but we're also in romantic relationships. So we've learned to adapt and be flexible to a lot of things that a lot of people may stumble over. And so I hope we're hopeful and helpful to others that it is possible.
That's true. That's true. Let's talk briefly about the retreat coming, please.
Yeah, and this is going to be a good one, you guys. So Sedona is like maybe in the top 5 of places in the world, a bucket list, they say. It's kind of known as an energetic vortex, or to some spiritual mecca, where you can come, and a lot of people have experienced even some healing here, and that's a very nice thing in our world, I believe. Also a great place to manifest, and it's just simply beautiful. Maybe that's what it is. It's like a living piece of art. It's gorgeous. Red rocks, iron, copper, limestone, crystal quartz, and it's beautiful, Luca. So we're going to have this retreat, fall equinox, and it's all about how to transform our lives so we have a higher quality, higher health, and we enjoy our time here while we're able to move and create.
That's going to be beautiful, and I would like to remind everyone who's interested to check it out. Go to the website, sedonaequinoxretreat.com, and it's limited to only 10 people around the world. That's it, because we have limited space, and we don't want to have a group that we can now enjoy experiencing and practicing the techniques like on mass scale. It's going to be a one-on-one experience pretty much.
And it's this September. This is the fall equinox. So it's the 21st to the 24th, all-inclusive, beautiful estate. We invite you to come, and this is being put on by Royal Leo LLC.
Amazing. So we're going to leave you now. We have 2 options, and Claudia, I would like to give you the choice. 2 songs, Memoirs remix, or we have Live With No Regrets by Danny Saber. Which one would you like to play?
Okay, let's go ahead and share the memoirs this time.
Beautiful. That is also the latest video we just did. All right, for this week, that's it. From Luca and Claudette, stay tuned and talk to you next week. Ciao.
Ciao.
Memoirs. Je t'aime.
I stand at the edge of memory, where yesterday fades into tomorrow. Your name, a whisper on my skin, whisper.
Memoirs.
We are not the beginning, we are not an end. We are the moment between eternity, forever.
Memoirs.
you heal.